Welcome back to my XCOM 2 War of the Chosen playthrough. I'm Dendril. Thank you for watching the videos thus far. This is my first time playing the War of the Chosen expansion. I've played XCOM 2 extensively, quite a few times, so I will have a few tips for the base game, which I'm assuming also applies to this game, certain aspects. There are some different systems in play on this game versus the base game, which I will touch on as they come up. We just finished the first DLC mission where you meet the two of the new factions. The skirmisher Mox has been captured. Once we get the ring, we will be able to launch a missions to find out where he is, so that we can actually then go and rescue him. Let me go ahead and go out to the geoscape. We can gain intel by scanning at the Reaper HQ if we like. We also have a service depot here where we can scan for supplies.
Perceived oppression of the elders, the burden of honor instilled upon me since my creation, drives my service to the gods, regardless of their intention.
We have one more day till Resistance Communications is done, so I'm going to go ahead and scan here, because we could definitely use the supplies since we're down so low. So let's go ahead and scan here.
The outcome of this research can only further our advances.
This is one of the most important researches you can do, because it unlocks resistance comms and resistance radio, and also the ability to contact resistance members around the world. This is going to be your main source of money. This is where you're going to get all the resources that you need. It also is going to allow you to choose from the guerrilla ops missions that you want. Normally, when you have access to most of the world, you'll get an option for 3 different ones. As you saw on the before, since we're on only one location, which it randomly selects where you are in the world, we only had access to one guerrilla op. So now we will be able to build the resistance comms. Advent officer autopsy we can do. Resistance radio, when you build it at a resistance camp, it lowers the intel cost for nearby contacts, as you'll see in a few minutes. You definitely want to do that because it cheapens the intel, and also once you build enough radios on each particular continent, you get a bonus that differs by region, which I will show you momentarily. Right now, I'm going to definitely go for resistance radio, because that's going to allow us to spread our reach a lot farther.
Successfully completed the operation necessary. Commander, we can now work to establish.
See, now we're going to start being able to contact any nearby regions.
Once we've collected sufficient intel to make contact, we'll need to scan the target region for the operative signal.
And that actually supersedes the supplies, so I'm going to come over here, make contact with this region. It's only going to cost me 30 intel, since our nearest base is very short. And as you can read there, it says we're going to get 90 extra supplies per month, which I just say dollars because it's essentially the same thing. Okay, so now we have another sharpshooter.
It'll take us some time to scan for their exact position, though.
Which is definitely good, because as you can see, you want to make sure you have at least 2 of everyone. We're going to have a replacement for Frank Castle, because he is tired. He's out another 10 days. And a replacement for our Ranger, because wounded 4 days. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put someone in as a Ranger in the training center. The Guerrilla Tactics School, sorry. So we will pick, let's do Emma. Actually, let's do Rogue. Let's put her as a ranger. So we'll go ahead and have her in there. We don't have any money to buy any more of the new tactics. As you can see, this one is squad size 2 is unlocked when you have a captain. None of our people have made captain yet. So now we just have to, the alien debris will be cleared in less than a day. There it is. We recovered 40 supplies off of that. So now what I was talking about before, the resistance ring, that's also a very, very important one because it allows you to manage covert actions and coordinate with the resistance faction. That's how you find out where Mox, the captured soldier, is, as well as gain intel on the Chosen themselves. But as you can see, we do not have the supplies for it yet. We actually don't have the supplies to build anything. I would recommend doing the resistance comms as your second building because that's going to increase the number of resistance contacts you have. And as I said before, that's very, very important. So now, since we have an engineer doing nothing, if you can look in the upper right hand corner and see the little yellow guy, that tells you that you have an engineer who's not doing anything. And that is definitely not a good thing.
Now that members of the resistance factions have joined us on the Avenger, I thought you might want an area where you can meet to organize and plan future operations together.
Now this one, we can start clearing alien machinery. You get 30 supplies, 13 alien alloys, but you'll also note that you can put 2 engineers because the excavation time is 20 days with an engineer. You can add another engineer to cut it down to 10 days, which once I get another engineer, I actually am going to do that.
What can I do for you, Commander?
Sorry, I keep saying That's kind of my filler word before when I'm trying to think of something else to say. Let's see here. Let's continue making contact until something happens. Okay, the other room has been cleared. We now have enough supplies to build the resistance ring, which I'm going to go ahead and start on. Yes, that's asking if you want to use your engineer to cut the time down. So now it's down to 6 days. And yes, that is more important than sending the other engineer over here to clear the alien machinery. The alien machinery clearing out is an important task, but it should be secondary to building your facilities. You want to make sure that you always have an engineer clearing if available. If not, then that's okay. Okay, now she is done with her training. So what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and stick another soldier in for training as well. Our wounded soldiers have now been cleared. Everybody is nice and happy. We do not have a second grenadier, however. So I'm going to go ahead and set someone as a grenadier. Because again, with the new tired status, you have to be a lot more cognizant of having doubles, having all your slots filled so that you have a complete team. I went ahead and picked someone at random and put them in as a grenadier. So we will now go back out.
Commander, we've got local resistance forces waiting to make contact, but we'll have to make the first move.
I think you will find our results have exceeded expectations.
Okay, we are done with resistance radio, so we definitely want to go ahead and start on another research project. This allows you to... Here's another one of these breakthroughs, which, as I said before, it's generally, I find, not to be worth it. But you, of course, can make your own decision. This basically will cut down the cost of building the training center by half, which on the surface may seem worth it, and it may indeed be worth it, but I find that moving towards weapons is probably a better use of your time. I'm going to do the sectoid autopsy so that I can open up the ability to do psionics, because the earlier that you can... Hold on.
Countless observers attest to the existence of a much smaller, less intimidating variant of the sectoid that took part in the original invasion. In the time since, this new being, the product of clear genetic manipulation, is now a familiar face to our forces operating in the field.
Well, that was thoroughly gross. You get one of those scenes for every autopsy that you do. So, it is fairly gross. But I want to go ahead and get psionics because the quicker you can get psionics and then build the facility for psionics, the quicker you can have psionic warriors, because to level them up, they don't level up with kills. They level up by being in the psionic center facility. And it takes a long time for them to learn all of the abilities, which you can, in fact, have them learn all of the abilities. It just takes a really, really long time. So you kind of want at least one of them fully trained by the end of the game, and the only way to do that is to start early. So I said in the first video that either weapons or psionics is something that you should focus on, and in this instance, we're going to go ahead and start researching that. It's only 3 days, so we have 1 day till our supply drop.
In any region where we've made contact with the local resistance.
Got an urgent communication coming in for you now, Commander.
You have made considerable progress against the aliens over the past month, Commander. I hope that your ongoing efforts will only lead to further success.
Okay, so now we got our monthly money.
Chosen are a tough group to infiltrate, but we've managed to gather intel on their latest actions and have a rough idea of how close each is to reaching their ultimate goal of locating the Avenger.
This is also something that was added in the DLC, obviously. Has to do with the Chosen. They have certain knowledge, and once they get all 4 of those boxes filled up, they'll know where the Avenger is, and they'll actually attack your base in an attempt to capture you.
Intel suggesting the aliens are working on developments that threaten our ability to stop the Avatar project. We can conduct guerrilla operations to disrupt one of these efforts, but we'll have to choose carefully. We don't have the resources to intercede everywhere.
So we have our new dark event. The guerrilla ops thing, the rapid response, that's from the base game. The Left Behind is a new one based on the covert actions that you can do from the Resistance Ring.
Commander, the factions have pledged their support to Xcom, and they're ready to carry out your orders. As our influence with these groups increases, our capabilities will grow in kind.
Okay, this is the Resistance orders.
Up for some additional work if you've got any orders for us, Commander.
So, the one we have access to now is popular support. Resistance Rising 1, +1 resistance contact. So we got to figure out which one we are going to pick. This one sounds good on paper, gives you 10% on your supply drop, but I'm going to do this because an extra resistance contact is going to be worth more than the 10%, I'd have to say. We don't have enough influence with the Reapers to use the other one, so we're going to go ahead and stick with that one for now.
Commander, we'll need to send our own soldiers out to work with the Resistance factions to complete these covert actions. They'll be gone for a few days, but this will help us build influence with the Resistance while generating material support.
And that's the covert actions I was talking about.
This operation is going to require some field experience, Commander. We'll need to send one of our vets to lead the effort.
Okay, as you can see here, you can do missions for Reapers or the Templars. We have this one. You have to have a sergeant to get that. We can do this one to try and find out where this where Mox is part of the story. This one increases combat intelligence for the soldier that you send, which has to do with getting ability points. This one, add a faction hero to XCOM's ranks and gain new resist orders. Okay. Find the Templars. It seems like a good one to do. We will send Let's see, who do we want to send? We'll send her. It does not allow us to do that, and it's not telling us why it won't let us do that. I'm assuming because we don't have a sergeant, so we cannot do that one. So it looks like we're going to have to choose one of these other ones. We'll go ahead and try and find where Pradle Mox is. We'll send a couple of rookies. Go ahead and send them out. Now we have our supply drop, which we'll go ahead and go grab that real quick. Then we'll come back and scan.
We'll have to fly over and scan the area if we want to recover this stuff for our...
Nothing on the local comms. Advent's been quiet lately. Guessing we have you to thank.
This is our first terror mission.
We plan to. Our water purification.
Massive signal coming from the Advent network tower. It's low. Sir, I think you want to see this.
Fellow citizens, for 20 years, the Advent Coalition has worked tirelessly to repair the ravages and injustices of the old world. Under our stewardship, our cities prosper, our people flourish, and our world heals. And yet, among us, there are still those who would refuse to acknowledge the truth, who are determined to see all that we have achieved
Multiple radar contacts on approach to Haven Alpha 7.
That must end.
Even as I speak to you today, you've got incoming on approach.
Your signal's breaking up.
Outlying territories to end this scourge once and for all. They're right on top of you.
Losing you, Avenger.
Raise them again. We'll ensure your continued safety and well-being throughout this crisis. Get your people out of there! With your cooperation, we will overcome these radical elements and usher in another 20 years of peace and prosperity.
They don't stand a chance. Commander, we should get a squad ready to deploy.
So our first terror mission, as they called it in the old game, and this one they call them retaliation.
Give the word and we'll move out.
You pretty much can't ignore those. You can, but it's not recommended. Coming into this region, the assassin controls the region, so there's a chance that she is actually going to show up during the mission. But we really don't have a choice. We have to go do this mission. This is the first time that you're going to run into the Faceless, which at the end of that last video, you saw the Faceless. It's the guy who was kind of, was a person then transformed into a big blob. We're going to go ahead and bring her and our ranger, even though she's kind of shaky. Her will is kind of low, but we shouldn't run into any sectoids. I don't believe there's sectoids. There might be. Let me see. Rangers are very good for these missions because of their ability to stay concealed. But I believe since she's a new ranger, she does not have that ability. But yeah, she does not have that ability. But the other person, her mental health was kind of low, so I'm kind of hesitant to bring her along. I will bring a sniper, my grenadier. You know what? We need two people running around. For for these retaliation missions, having people concealed so that they can go around and rescue the people, because during the mission you have to rescue at least 6 people or you fail before they kill them all. And what ends up happening is they spend all their turns shooting civilians over and over again. It shouldn't be too hard as long as you're proactive. It shouldn't be too hard to get the 6 that you require, but it can be difficult here, especially here in the beginning. So I have my specialist for healing. I have my grenadier, a sniper. There shouldn't be anything to hack, so I'm not going to bring the other specialist. The hackable things don't start showing up until a little bit later in the game. We're still pretty early on. Also having the Reaper, if the assassin shows up, Reapers do more damage to her. So she will be instrumental in taking her down, because I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that the assassin does show up in this mission, because that's how this game is. Just know that you cannot permanently kill any of the Chosen until you do the covert action to find out where they are.
Traffic from alien forces moving to attack a resistance outpost in this region, and we're the only ones with any chance of stopping them. We're heading in to lock down the area. Neutralize all hostile contacts with extreme prejudice.
Neutralize all hostile contacts with extreme prejudice. All these missions are the retaliation missions are all the same. You go in, save as many people as you can, and then kill all the bad guys. Which your goal should be to kill all the aliens, because once you do that, any civilians that are left alive, you automatically rescue. So your focus should 100% be on eliminating the aliens as fast as possible.
One of those Chosen is leading an assault on the resistance encampment in this area. Our people are doing what they can to fight back, but we need to help protect the civilians trapped nearby.
Yep, told you.
There's a group of resistance soldiers hunkered down not far from your position. Move in and help fend off the attacking enemies.
Oh, okay. Looks like they kind of changed this mission from the base game.
These two are working together like a well-oiled machine. As long as we keep them close to each other.
That's for the 2 people that we have that have a bond. As you can see, she can grant Cable an extra move if necessary. We'll try not to have to use that until we absolutely have to. Now, we're going to try and keep the 2 concealed people concealed so that we can start rescuing people.
I'm at your service.
We're gonna come. Okay.
Moving to
I'm
position.
gonna have her come the other direction so that we can kind of keep an eye on enemies, since they're both still concealed. Have one go one direction, one go the other. The rest of the company will go along with them to kind of give them backup, because as I said in a previous video, you never want to send a soldier out on their own. It can just end very, very badly for you and the soldier, obviously. Now I'm going to try and move the sniper. These guys are going to go into Overwatch, because I'm sure the aliens are going to start attacking. No. Yeah, see, they added this to the base game. The Resistance actually gets to fight back. This is completely new from XCOM 2. Normally you come in, rescue the people, and that's it. You come in, the aliens shoot at the people don't shoot back. Which, in the context of the game, doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you're told that you're going to a Resistance camp, and the Resistance are supposed to be armed. So this actually makes it make a lot more sense.
I'm on the move.
than the base game. They're actually there's a chance that it will reveal, but let's see. Let's hold on a second. Since Cable has the bond with her, I'm gonna have him go along with her. With squad sight, he should be able to take this shot. Very nice.
No longer a threat.
Okay. Gonna have these two come this way with her. She won't be able to kill him, so I'm just gonna have her hang tight. Have her come over this way to keep an eye on the aliens, because now the aliens are gonna attack and probably start killing resistance people. Okay, maybe not. Good shot. Ooh, crit. Very nice. Very, very nice. Aw, thought he was gonna be able to take that dude out. I guess not. Alright, so let's come over here. Let's have our other person. Try to stay away from him a little bit. Now I'm going to have her go ahead and shoot. She has a 50% chance of not being discovered, so we're going to go ahead and...
Moving to help the other survivors.
Ooh, got lucky.
Civilians pinned down within range of your position. Sensors indicate hostile forces are closing in fast. We need to get in there before the aliens slaughter those people.
Gotta say, I like the way these the new retaliation missions are. They've actually added a lot of flavor to it. It actually feels like a worthwhile mission. I'm glad they changed it. I really, really am. I'm glad that they changed it like this. Because now we've already saved 4 of the 6 people that we need, and
Solid copy.
it feels like it would be, because the resistance are supposed to be these people you contact, these people who are taking up arms against the aliens. It just makes sense that they would be able to shoot back, because in the original version, if you remember, if you've played it, you come on the map, there's just these helpless civilians that just stand around, and you have to run up to each one to get them to run away. There's a little circle around them, and then you run into that circle, and then they get quote-unquote rescued. So all right, let's go ahead and have her move towards, because we still have to save the trapped civilians over here, which it's going to take us a few turns to get over there.
Moving to
So let's move here. It also feels like we have to do less to help them. Because before with the retaliation missions, you felt like these people were helpless. Like there's nothing you could do for them. You just had to watch and stand by as they just get mowed down with no guns of their own. Which, as I said before, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the context of the game. Supposedly, they're going to be your allies to help you fight the aliens. That's why you contact each resistance part of the world that's fighting against the aliens. But for some reason, they have no guns of their own. It just didn't make sense. So at least this way, it feels like a mission, like you're actually helping them, not as they're just kind of sadly ducks in a shooting gallery kind of thing, you know? So I like the direction they went with this mission. What I am worried about is when the Chosen shows up. Ooh, stun lancers already. All right, Resistance gets a turn. Yeah, what do you expect? They're using basic human weapons, which we are too, so. Can he hit him from there? Yeah, probably not. The chance of hitting from that position is going to be fairly low, I'm willing to bet. Can somebody else take a shot at him? Oh, very nice. That's an XCOM level shot right there. Wow, kudos, my friend, kudos. I'm just concerned once we start running into the Chosen, which I guarantee you she's here. If you remember the opening, it said the Chosen are leading a group against our resistance people. So she's here. The assassin's here somewhere, unless it wants to introduce one of the other Chosen, because as we saw from the video, there are in fact three different Chosen. The Templar, the Assassin, and I forget who the third one is. Actually, a Templar is one of the good factions, so I'm actually incorrect about that. They'll be introduced in short order, I'm sure, and we're going to have to contend with each of them, so. Oh!
Commander, Advent is attacking off. They've got units in the AO that are ignoring our forces just to get a better shot at the civilians. Take those bastards down.
What do you think I'm doing, Central? You think I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs? I start on the other side of the map, man. Gotta give me some credit here. I'm trying. I mean, the Resistance ain't doing too bad themselves. They've taken 3 or 4 of the aliens out before I could even get anywhere near them, so gotta cut me some slack there, Central. I'm giving it my best shot.
Moving.
Best shot. I didn't even mean to say that. Okay. Let's have the Shadow Lady come this way so we can keep an eye.
At first, Advent deployed non-lethal stun units for crowd control and the occasional protest. We don't see a whole lot of that anymore.
Keep an eye on him. We'll have her move over here. She doesn't have a shot. Man, I miss the days of me having the grappling hook. I love the grappling hook. I'll be getting it later. So let me go ahead and have him, my character, sit up top and keep an eye out. Uh-oh. Gonna discover my Reaper. Yep, gonna discover my Reaper. Nice shot. See, the times when Overwatch does work, it looks awesome. Like, you just sit there and mow the aliens down left and right. So it looks kind of awesome when it works. The problem is it doesn't work a lot of the time. A lot of the time you miss. It seems like just when you need it, you need to hit, it doesn't seem to do it. So we're gonna post up around here. I'm gonna take the shot here, see if I can drop this guy. Shoot. I missed. That's okay.
I'm on the move.
Does that count as saving them? Oh boy. That's gonna hurt.
We've heard rumors about some kind of shapeshifters.
I was wondering where they were gonna put the faceless. There's always at least one faceless in these games.
Don't even think about it.
Yep, was wondering when that was gonna happen.
Do we have ammunition available? Orders confirmed. On the move.
Now, the decision becomes, do we shoot the faceless or do we shoot at the shoot guy? I'm going to try and kill the faceless because he can kill the civilians, and we definitely don't want him to kill the civilians. So if one of my guys gets shot, then, you know, it's okay. I don't think he can shoot that far. Yeah, he's just out of range. And he can't move, so. Okay. Come on, come on, hit, 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 hit. Very nice. Very nice. See? Makes you feel awesome when Overwatch does in fact work. That was it.
No other hostile contacts on the scope. Good work out there.
It also makes it easier for you to rescue more civilians. As I said, the previous mission, the retaliations are usually you lose a lot of people, but it seems like they changed it for the better. So it's a little easier for you to come out with most of the civilians intact. There were 9 aliens, killed them all. The Chosen did not show up. I assumed that the assassin would. I'm assuming it's some sort of percentage chance for the Chosen to show up in any given mission. So we got lucky in that respect because she did not show up. But I have a feeling as time goes on, she's going to show up in more and more.
Continue their wanton and reckless crimes until the entire world burns around them. We are grateful to the elders for their support in ending this menace once and for all.
Okay. Where they go, the aliens die. That's a pretty cool slogan. Where they go, the aliens die. All right, let's see if anyone gets any promotions from that.
We really put a hurt on the aliens this time, Commander. They won't
Oh, good. The 2 of them are tired, which is not good. Okay, here we go. The Ranger, the next one, your choices are Shadow Step or Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike, since she's concealed, she gains a 25 bonus to aim and bonus to critical when attacking enemies from concealment. Whereas Shadow Step does not trigger Overwatch or reaction fire, which both have their uses. Being able to move when an enemy goes into Overwatch is good, but I find that enemies don't go into Overwatch as often as you would think. There are instances where they can, whereas Shadow Strike, your Ranger is going to be in concealment 9 times out of 10 because he starts in concealment. So I'm going to go with Shadow Strike in this instance. Okay. Now our specialist, since we made her our battle medic, we're going to go ahead and go with Revival Protocol. You can send the gremlin over to remove any negative mental status, as it says there, disoriented, stunned, panicked, or unconscious, which can be very useful. So we'll go ahead and choose that for her. 18 rescued civilians, also something with the DLC. The more civilians you rescue, the more the income in the region goes up, apparently, which is a good thing. And then we got these different things. A new autopsy is available for the faceless.
Another impressive effort, Commander. My expectations were high, and yet you have exceeded them.
Yes, I know supplies are low. But we were in the midst of trying to increase that. So let's go back out. We're going to pass up on that one for now. We're going to go back to our supply drop. In the base games, you got a third of the money each of the turns, but now it looks like you have to go the entire amount to get the entire amount.
I was born of battle, of a desire to face my enemies in combat and surrender to no one.
I've made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
We're gonna kill you one of these days. Probably a long time from now, but.
Over the past 20 years is a testament to both the aliens' mastery of genetic engineering.
So that gives us access to the mind shield, which makes any person completely immune
In cold storage. We should perform the autopsy as soon as possible.
to any of the mental attacks that a sectoid may do. It has its uses, but limitedly. And it also, more importantly, allows us psionics. But as you can see, we don't have any Illyrium crystals, which you will get a little bit later. But it does give us the option to start that research when we need to. So it was worth doing. Now, magnetic webs is 19 days. We're going to do the Advent Officer autopsy because it unlocks more parts of the story.
Appear to be similar, if not physically the same as the common Advent Trooper in terms of power and agility. However, field reports indicate a more developed mental acuity, as the officers do provide tactical directives to the subordinate Advent forces.
Super gross, once again.
I saw medical breakthroughs that would have been considered nothing short of miraculous at any time before the aliens' arrival. The elderly and infirm so revitalized with a single
Okay, so let's look into building a facility. The infirmary is an important one insofar as it allows you to remove any negative traits and decrease the time they need from injuries. But one of the most important things to have is going to be resistance comms. But we do already have the ability to contact nearby regions, at least a few regions. I'm going to go ahead and choose the training center because it has other effects.
We don't have any capacity to spare, which means we can't expand our facilities further.
That other effects that I will go into a little bit more here shortly. Now, the next building we have to build is going to be the power relay, because we've actually pressed our power to the maximum that it can go. So let's finish getting the supply drop. Now, let's go back to finish making contact. Because making contact is one of the more important things that you can do in these, because you want to be able to get more money. All right. This is the new resistance ring added in the DLC. This is has a lot to do with the new covert action system that was added. You can put an engineer here.
We already have a covert operation.
Then you be able to look at
some time to complete.
any of the covert actions that you can do. Right now we can't do any because we already have one in effect. Staffing an engineer here is a good idea. Probably not right now though, because we really need the engineer other places. For one, we need to put one here so that we can decrease the time on the training center. That should cut it in half to 6 days. Once we have another engineer, once we have a spare one not doing anything, we are going to put him. But the next engineer I get, I'm going to put into clearing alien machinery, because we're going to need a power relay sooner rather than later. So we're going to go ahead and clear for that. But let's go ahead and finish making contact. There we go. This is actually going to increase our money by adding a new region to the resistance. Oh, wasn't that happy and cheery? Now you can do the black site if you need to, and more regions become available. What I was talking about earlier here, if you do, if you get all 4 regions and build one more relay, you will get the continent bonus. In this case, it's on every mission there is a chance that an Advent unit will join the Xcom squad, which it looks like they've changed the continent bonuses from before. Now, we could go to the Advent Black site, but I'm going to save that for now. In favor of contacting another region. I'm going to go over here, make contact here. It's only because it's only 30 intel, because the intel, the further you get away from your last radio, the higher the intel cost. But since my base is here and it's right next door, it's only going to be 30. So you want to have it as low as possible, because that way you can make the small amount of intel you have go farther.
I suppose since that worked, we might as well keep it up, Commander.
Okay, so our covert action, the report, we were able to find him, so now we can launch a mission to go rescue him. We also got promotions for the 2 of them, and 25 intel.
Our friends in the Resistance have helped to pinpoint the location of our missing soldier. We finally got a lead on where the Chosen have been holding our soldier captive. It's time we get him out of there. Commander, if we're gonna win this war, we need to take every chance we get to fight back. We'll have to be ready to engage the enemy during unpredictable situations, which require special planning and preparation.
Okay, so we're going to go and try and rescue him. As you can see, the sit-reps that he was talking about is another DLC edition. All soldiers on this mission will gain a single charge of the Conceal ability, meaning that each soldier will be individually revealed. In the base game, each time one person shoots, it reveals the entire squad. So in this instance, it's more like the Conceal ability for the Ranger. Now, we want to do this quietly, so what I'm going to do is, she's coming along, so if the assassin's there, she does more damage to her. I'm going to bring a Ranger, and hold on. She's a sharpshooter. We don't need a sharpshooter. I'm just doing this so that I can promote them. She's a grenadier. It's a quiet mission, so I'm gonna send in don't need a sharpshooter. I kind of imagine these missions as, you know, sneaking around. So you want somebody who's sneaky. Normally I would send my other ranger, but as you can see, she's tired. So we don't want to mess with that. So I'll go ahead and send Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. And I'm gonna pull all the utility items off of everybody else so I can give her a flashbang grenade. I don't get to give her anything, as you can see. So this is the squad I'm gonna go with. So let's do it.
Sky Ranger deployed.
Squad green to deploy.
One of these days I'm going to do a stream so that I can do longer than an hour. I know it's kind of annoying having these cut down into hour sections, but that's all that I'm allowed to do at the moment.
Confirmed that the soldier taken captive during our previous operation is being held within a high-security Advent facility not far from your position. If we try to take them back by force, it won't be long before we're totally outnumbered by enemy reinforcements. Our best bet is to go.
I agree with you, Central. YouTube still has not let me stream because of verification, which I started a week ago or more, over a week. It's still not letting me do it, but once I can, I will do that. I could also stream on Twitch because I do have a Twitch channel, it's also Dendril. But I want to keep it on the same platform.
Intel has our operative being held in the main structure just ahead. We have the advantage of stealth here, so we should try to get in and out as quietly as possible. If the enemy spots us, this is going to get a whole lot harder.
Okay. So, I've not done this mission before, but if it's like in the movies, you want to sneak in without being seen, and you don't want to just go in guns blazing. But honestly, I've never done these missions before, so I'm learning right along with you guys.
Got it covered.
So we're gonna try a stealthy approach, like you see in the spy movies, where the spy sneaks in and rescues the prisoner without anybody seeing them, kind of like James Bond.
But as soon as she gets in range, the whole compound will go on high alert. We should hold back unless we have the target, or it's an absolute
Yeah, emergency. I know, dude. I know. Gonna go one move at a time.
Stay clear of those turrets. We're still not entirely sure if they're fully automated or remotely triggered.
Yeah, I don't plan going up and saying hi to the turret.
Their clumsy patrol is moving.
I plan on trying to stay as far away from the turret as possible. He's here. Let's see. There's a door on the side, so we will head that direction. We'll stay over here. Gotta say, I like these new missions. I gotta say, they really nailed it, making XCOM better. I didn't think they could actually do it, but they've actually made XCOM better. They've changed every single mission and tweaked it to be more fun, honestly. Because after a while, the same missions start getting repetitious, and you start saying, ugh, another one of these, another retaliation mission, another, you know. This way, the missions feel fresh, they feel fun. I mean, and having a turn-based game make it so that you have to sneak in to rescue a soldier, it's genius. It's complete genius.
Double time.
It changes the game from a squad-based sit around and just pick off the aliens, where you actually have to think about each move that you do. I have a feeling if you get security up to a higher level, then all hell breaks loose and you're fighting reinforcement after reinforcement. I have a feeling also the second that we spring him, things are going to go bad. Things are going to go really bad.
On my way.
I'm not going to leave him there. I'm going to put him here where he can see, because on his turn he's going to use his bot to hack the door. So actually I'm glad I brought a specialist, quite honestly. I'm going to have her guard the door, as it were.
Overwatch. I won't let them pass.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and have him hack the door.
Hacking in.
I have a feeling once this happens, things are going to get crazy. Okay. Hacking minigame seems to be the same. Unfail, no effect. Might as well try, right? And so close. That's okay. We still unlocked the door. There was no negative for trying, so it's worth a shot.
Firebrand is in position and the combat
And now,
is on full alert. Time
enemy
to
is on now max alert. Oh, goody. This'll be fun. Now we gotta make our way.
Seizing control.
Gonna have to make our way out without dying. That'll be fun. I'm just gonna shut it down. There's a 100% chance of that. So it'd be nice to take it over, but his hacking skill is not high enough to where that's actually gonna be an option. So now we're able to shut the turret down. We need to start thinking about putting them into cover, where we can fire back, because now the aliens are going to be coming for us.
Moving to Overwatch.
I won't let them pass.
See? Enemy reinforcements.
Southbound has reached maximum alert status. They put out a distress signal and we're already picking up multiple inbound transports.
Okay. Coming to the end of the time for this video. We will pick this video up right here with the exciting conclusion of this mission. I'm going to stop it right here. As I said, I thank everyone who watched the video. I will continue the series until the end. You may want to look out for me on Twitch. I may do a stream on Twitch with this, so I can actually do it for a longer period of time, because an hour does not seem like long enough to get very far in the game, because there's a lot of cutscenes, especially near the beginning. So look out on Twitch. It's Dendrahl, DENDRAHL, on Twitch. Go out there, have a safe day. Everyone be kind to your neighbor, be kind to each other. And it's such a pleasure for me to be able to do this for you guys. Have a good rest.